Now, I'm not saying that James Carville is a barely functioning with nothing left of value in this world. I'm not saying that at all. I'm also not saying it's pointless to tar and feather him because he still sheds his skin twice a year. And I'm also not saying if James Carville choked to death on one of his morning feedings of live mice, he wouldn't be missed. Wow, it sure is fun to not say things. I'm going to start.
In a crisp on-air exchange, Greg Gutfeld had just completely outmatched James Carville, delivering a fast-paced stream of humor characterized by his well-known sarcasm and smile. Gutfeld attacked Carville's well-worn political arguments as out-of-date and out-of-step, quickly turning what was supposed to be a one-sided debate. Carville made an effort to react and regain control, but Gutfeld maintained a lead of several beats, quickly refuting each point. The exchange happened quickly, and before viewers could fully comprehend it, Carville's reputation appeared to be damaged on live television.
To embracing Pumpkinhead just yet. Carville's like a parent who doesn't say anything about his rotten brat until it affects him and crashes his Mercedes. This problem's been here for years. It's done untold damage. It's cost a lot of death. And now he calls BS on it? Thanks, but you're showing up at last call. Let's not forget what else he said. He said that people that go to Trump rallies are pretty much brain-dead deplorables. He said some pretty awful things. If he could call them retarded, he would have. So his criticisms actually hit everyone, and it doesn't come from a place of common sense or common people. It comes from an elitist perch. He's not a man of the people. He's a man protecting the system that paid him well. On the whole, he would prefer to jail a Trump supporter who stole a podium over an Antifa creep who burns a business. So there you go.
It was like taking a torch to a fireworks display to watch that conversation. James Carville, who is well known for his keen political intuition and distinctive Cajun accent, arrived ready for a heated debate with a long list of well-known points from previous decades. However, rather than making progress, he was confronted by a rapid flow of wit that rendered his arguments obsolete. Greg Gutfeld kept the momentum firmly on his side by thoroughly dissecting each argument step by step, rather than just responding. As Gutfeld maintained rhythm, the back and forth lost momentum, transforming the exchange into a demonstration of time and assurance. It feels more like a competitive stage performance when he locks into his delivery, and Carville found it difficult to stay up in this round.
Political strategist and hairless goblin, James Carville trash talked his fellow Dems in our video of the day. Roll it, Agatha.
We keep wondering why these young people aren't coming home to the Democrats, which is, why blacks are not coming home to the Democrats. Because Democratic messaging is full of that's why.
Right. Wow.
And talk about cost of living. And we're going to help deal with this. And don't talk about GAFA and student loans.
Kennedy, that nice little old lady is making some sense.
Right. She really is.
She's such a gentle lesbian. What's her name?
James Carville, who gained notoriety for his harsh, quick-witted campaign rhetoric, assisted Bill Clinton in winning decades ago. His astute approach used to be the benchmark for political strategy. However, he didn't seem to be in tune with the situation this time. Lines like "it's the economy," "stupid" were more sentimental than impactful when repeated. The effect didn't land the way it used to in a media landscape that moved much more quickly, but the confidence was still there.
Carville looks like someone liberated him from a glass tank at Petco. Glad he's taking a break from hunting down Sigourney Weaver. But is he saying these people should be placed in pajamas, have their heads shaved, and march down Pennsylvania Avenue and spit on?
I'm not saying that these people should be placed in pajamas and have their heads shaved, march down Pennsylvania Avenue and spit on. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that did happen. And I'm saying that these people betrayed the French nation.
I feel like he's like a therapist to the Democrats. Democrats are like a patient. And he's just tired of their constant whining without actually doing the work that a therapist would tell you to do.
Well, Carville on the idea that there's like a Republican plan. What is wrong with that 10 or 15% of Democrats that everything that they say, this plant or whomever it is, it's a progressive, it's not a Republican. You know, let's mutilate kids. Let's put men and women's locker rooms, and let's make sure that we have these drag shows for kids. And they're like, yay! It's their fault. It's stupid. And he's right.
Dana, did I hear Jessica say that we should doge?
As James Carville launched into another vehement warning about the radical right undermining democracy, you could almost feel the rage building. However, his argument appeared less compelling than precise when it came to defining radical. Greg Gutfeld followed. Instead of responding furiously, he allowed the comments to linger for a while before deftly transforming them into punchlines and returning them to the audience with a smile. Gutfeld seemed to approach the conversation from the start as an opportunity to refute what he perceived as outdated political catchphrases that were still relevant from a bygone period. Carville directed his words widely, but Gutfeld remained concentrated, fully conscious of the tactic he was employing.
Dana, did I hear Jessica say that we should doge electric car subsidies?
Theory is that Carville's right because, who's more likely, to get hit by lightning? Somebody who's sitting in their couch at home or somebody who goes out at night for a run? Anybody who actually takes action puts themselves at risk, and always in action, always in play, a lot like you on the weekends.
Hard to see insight into, what Carville says. I don't know how he became the wise man of politics.
Nostradamus.
Greg Gutfeld remained unwavering and refused to fall for James Carville's warning about what he described as growing extremism. Reminiscent of the days when a saxophone moment on the Arsenio Hall show felt like the pinnacle of political excitement, the remarks were intended to excite devoted cable news viewers. When Carville relied on his experience, implying that his years in politics gave him the advantage, the tension increased. However, Gutfeld seemed more at ease the harder he pressed. Gutfeld calmly reacted to Carville's worries about the economy and foreign meddling, pointing out how cultural discussions have drastically changed in the modern world, when even simple concepts provoke heated disagreements.
James Carville's wondering if there's a plant in the party, pushing them to back the dumbest ideas possible. Watch.
It's like there's a plant somewhere in, quote, progressive, unquote, America that just sees how many stupid things that they can embrace. There has to be a AI-generated, progressive generator of really...
Greg Gutfeld calmly said, "Being around for a long time doesn't automatically make someone wise. It can just as easily mean they haven't kept up, refusing to back down. Particularly when every debate appears to return to the same tried and true tax-raising answer." Gutfeld listened calmly and amusedly to James Carville's stern warning against false information on the right. The variation was indicative of a more general change in the audience. Dramatic crisis language is met with greater skepticism by today's audiences, especially when it comes from voices they have heard for decades. In a fast-paced, social media-driven environment, strategies that might have been effective in the early 1990s don't function the same way.
A certain coastal arrogance in this country, and people feel it. The Western far left is habitually the most stupid, naive people you can imagine. And they come up with these really goofy constructs, and it's all about feeling.
Using well-known cautions he has employed for years, James Carville directed his critique at opponents he feels flinch at terms like racist or threat to democracy. Greg Gutfeld, however, responded with poised timing and restrained comedy. Gutfeld responded calmly and confidently, anticipating points before they landed, but Carville remained steadfast. Just a gentle smile and precise, measured counterpoints, no shouting. He analyzed Carville's exaggerations, which paint uncertainty as hazardous and any small right-leaning viewpoint as severe. Carville appeared unsteady at the end, and the atmosphere around seasoned strategists had obviously faded. They frequently provide dire predictions about climatic catastrophe, economic collapse, and moral authority while speaking as though they are still at the center of the narrative. However, many viewers stop responding in the same manner after decades of hearing the same alerts.
Washington Post ran a fluff bomb celebrating centrist Democrat women, going gaga over their resumes, mom energy, and group chat chemistry. But in this journalistic stroke job, not a single policy position was mentioned, which is weird. That's like doing a profile on me and not mentioning my many bodybuilding awards. Thank you. So why is that? Why'd they bend so far backward to avoid a basic stance? Maybe because in the current state of their party, it's better just to keep your head down and to stay safe they substitute substance with nicknames, the Mod Squad or the Badass Caucus. But it's fake.
Gutfeld did not refrain. He clarified that this is performance rather than prophecy. It is nothing more than rehashed alarmism to say that this is the most important election of our lives. Fear-mongering and self-righteous lectures no longer influence people. The viewers of today are looking for someone who breaks through the clutter with genuine insight and exposes the circus without becoming involved. Gutfeld did just that. It is no longer effective to use empty nostalgia as a warning. He turned political posturing into a footnote with a simple smirk, a clever quip, and a well-timed critique, not with rage, but with exact wit. He reminded everyone that viewers want respect and sincere comedy, not spin doctors. The regulations have changed. In addition to making fun of Carville, Gutfeld revealed the unstable structure that surrounds him. Think of think tanks, commentators, and legacy media, all of whom clap blindly while Carville gives lectures on saving democracy, blithely disregarding the authoritarian tendencies within their own ranks.
Worst-rated president a month into his presidency than any president in United States history. That's the fact. I can be fact-checked. They can do whatever they want.
That's fine. We can go. Look at this. In 2025, he's at plus 4 points. Look where he was in 2017, his first term at this point. He was at minus 5 points, so he's doing nearly 10 points better on the average. And more than that, as I mentioned, it's not just the CBS News poll, it's the Ipsos poll, it's the Gallup poll, it's the Pew poll.
You're reading these polls, and I'm reading a poll saying the Democrats are 13 points up in the congressional generic, that Donald Trump has the lowest approval rating of any president at this point in his presidency in American history. So your viewers are getting one view, and I'm reading another view. So one of us is right and one of us is wrong.
He's in. Every single day, Donald Trump has been in positive territory compared to just 11 days during his first term.
It's not going to do any good for us to sit here and argue, because your viewers can believe you, and they can go to real clear politics, and they can actually...
The Dems aren't losing the black and Hispanic vote. They're losing the black and Hispanic men.
Gutfeld had solved Carville's political code before the halfway point, and the audience was laughing the entire time. Carville appeared to be an elderly person who was confused and accidentally joined the incorrect video call. Carville's formerly dreaded comebacks now sounded like an old cassette with scratches on it. While Carville regurgitated jokes from the Reagan era and Cold War cliques, Gutfeld remained calm and delivered cutting, contemporary truth bombs.
Right? Why don't they break that down, that men are fleeing the Democratic Party like it's a showing of Barbie? It's because it's terrifying to them that they're becoming the party of awfuls, right? Affluent, white, female liberals. The Democratic Party has become almost like a political version of the Bud Light commercial with Dylan Mulvaney. They've alienated men in order to please miserable activists. And men are like, hey, we know when we're not wanted. We'll see ourselves out. We know what a woman is, right? We know what's best for our kids. We know what it takes to protect our cities and our families. And we're tired of apologizing for laughing at funny jokes and at having natural testosterone, right? So they know that the Democratic Party has become a gender-specific party.
It was a striking contrast. Gutfeld's accurate punches sliced right through the resentment. He wasn't appealing to nostalgia, rather, he was reminding people that those who can think quickly, laugh harder, and see past the spin in the media are more likely to succeed in modern politics. This was a statement rather than merely a generational conflict. You are not the answer, rather you are the rerun that no one requested if you continue to quote the Cold War or rely on Bill Clinton's strategy. In Gutfeld's world, relics are retired rather than given reverence.